Hi folks, Sister McMurray here. I want to walk you through lesson 4. So this week we are going to be talking about careers, and you're going to be starting your career research assignment. I'll call it the CRA throughout our video so that it'll make it easier. Basically, the career research assignment is worth 350 points. It's the largest assignment we have this semester. So to take it into perspective, most of our quizzes are worth 50 points and our discussion boards are worth 100 points. So this is much bigger than any of those. It's going to be due in lesson 8. If you don't start it this week, you will be in a little bit of hurt when it comes to lesson 8 because it's 5 pages and it needs to be well done. You have a choice of careers. You can choose almost any career, being a lawyer, being a doctor, being a psychologist. Almost anything works except for child psychologist. The reason why child psychologist doesn't work is because you'll have a hard time finding solid references. You have to choose an area of psychology in order to become a child psychologist, meaning that you first have to become a clinical psychologist, a counseling psychologist, a school psychologist, a developmental psychologist, one of the main types of psychology in order to become a child psychologist or a person who specializes in child psychology. So I have a doctorate in school psychology and I consider myself a child psychologist, but I didn't get a degree in child psychology. I have a degree in school psychology. You must choose one of those areas to research if you're going to choose to focus on psychology. If not, it will be hard to research and your paper won't make a lot of sense because you'll have a hard time finding the information you need to know. There's a rubric and a template, and I will go over those soon. I also would like you to respond to the thread career research assignment under questions and conversations so that I can see where you're going with your paper. You actually can change it up. It's not that big of a deal, but I just want to see if I can catch anyone before they start and really get into it if they have chosen something that needs to be tweaked a little bit. So some pet peeves about the career research assignment is that it has to be double spaced with no extra spaces in between lines or paragraphs, and I'll show you that in a little bit. All paragraphs should be indented. If you use the name of the church, you need to spell it correctly and write it correctly. It is the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Latter-day is hyphenated with the L capitalized and the D lowercase. So that's it for my announcement. Let's go to content so you can see what the week looks like. So here's lesson 4. Come to questions and conversations, like I said, and then write down here in the career research assignment, just reply to the thread and tell me what you're going to be researching or what you think you're going to be researching. Here's the lesson introduction, so be sure to read it and see what's due this week, which is not much. You begin the career research assignment and you have the self-assessment quiz. Here are some readings that you should do. Read the psychology major, read the psychology major, what are you going to do with that, and then academic timelines. And then in activity 3 is where the career research assignment information, the CRA information is. So basically you identify a specific career to research. You have to have 5 sources for the paper. My preference is not Wikipedia and not about.com. Wikipedia can have really good information, but go to the real source. If you go to Wikipedia, find the source that it's referenced and then go there and read it yourself. It has to be, well, I'll go over the rubric that will tell you exactly what you need, and then it's due at the end of lesson 8. So here is the rubric, and here is the template so you can see them together. You start off with the career, and you can say the career, or you can say school psychology career. It has to be 1 to 2 paragraphs identifying the psychology or other related career and why you chose it. The next section is job description and duties. 2 to 4 paragraphs describing those. Then required education, Like, does it need a bachelor's, a master's, a PhD? Do you have to pass tests after that? Is your state different? I really like it when people look up the requirements in their certain state for what they want to do. Then is the income section, 1 to 2 paragraphs. Typical day, describing what a person in that field would do, 2 to 4 paragraphs. Pros and cons, 2 to 4 paragraphs. Hours of the job, normal, 1 to 2 paragraphs. The work environment, 2 to 4 paragraphs. And then the future of the career is 2 to 4 paragraphs. Then at the end, you should list at least 5 references that you have used. So the 5 references, I like APA style, but I'm not going to require it. Some of our students are just barely freshmen, and they have never taken an English class in college, so I will not hold you to the standard of APA format. But I do prefer it because it is a format of psychology. Make sure you have 5 references listed. If you do, I will not take points off. It has to be Times New Roman font, 12-point font, double-spaced, and spelling and grammar count for a lot. These proper headings, meaning these headings need to be included so that I can read it and understand what you're talking about in each section. If you download the template, you won't have a problem with spacing. So it's all set up for you. You just come and you start typing, make sure it's not in bold. But the way you check to see if the spacing is fine, you go to Format at the top, and I know you can't see all of what I'm doing. Click on Paragraph, and then it will pop up. If there's spacing before or after, this should be 0, this should be 0, and this should be double. So you highlight the paper, everything in the paper, and then you make sure that it's all before, after, and double spaced. Also, I want to make sure that you know about plagiarism. So don't plagiarize. Don't use somebody else's words as your own. Make sure that things have quotations around them. It should only be a few sentences, like 1, 2, or 3, that you're copying at any one time and that you're putting in quotes and saying who said it or what website you got it from. Other than that, it's called plagiarism, and I will turn you in to the Academic Honesty Office because it's important. It's important that we learn to use our own words. So basically that's it. Email me with your questions. Let me know if you have any other questions for me or if there's anything I can do to help you. Thanks for your help.